Hello, Leo. Welcome to your May 2025 forecast. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. It's great to see everybody. Let's get into your channel messages first. As I was tuning into your sign this morning, what came through was the image of a mirror. And there's so many deep things that come through with this symbol. I'm going to try to break it down into the top two or three. The first thing is kind of like the moon card in tarot. It's encouraging you to take a look at things that you might have swept beneath the surface. So if you've been procrastinating on something, or perhaps if someone has shown their true character this month and it's either inconvenient, surprising, or something you wish you could ignore, it's time to pay attention to that. There's something that is surfacing that, once dealt with, will allow you to progress with greater speed and allow you to be unencumbered when you do so. This is an introspective symbol. It's asking you to look beyond what you see, go beneath the surface for yourself. And when you really start to embody what it is that you seek in the outward world, it starts to come much faster. Finally, this is really about acceptance. I'm thinking back to that old fairy tale, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, where the evil queen is looking in the mirror, asking who's the most beautiful. Really, you have to learn to love and accept yourself, not seeking external validation, but going within. It's fine to hear it from someone else, but really, this is about loving, accepting, embracing who you are. That self-confidence, that self-worth will open up a world of opportunities for you. Let's begin. Before we begin, let's give Apollo a pat on the head. Say hello. Hey, buddy. All right. Let's get ready now. Close your eyes, please, for a moment. Imagine that you could trace a circle of light around your body. Create in that circle of light a sense of being safe and connected to the planet, and let's call in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters. This month, I'm going to focus first on the Celtic Cross. We'll expand the forecast a little bit later, just taking it one step at a time. We have a beautifully connected card here to the catalyst message. It says observation, and what does a mirror help us do but observe? But it's observing and looking within. So self-reflection, first message, again, reiterating some of what we talked about. This particular illustration is also saying, look around you. The spider web has two connotations. One, it can represent a snag or a trap or something that you want to avoid, obviously. It's also a symbol of manifestation. When we look at the spider there, it patiently weaves this every day, knowing, believing, seeing before it even happens that something is going to land in the web. So you may be weaving the energy of manifestation, catching something that you want, a dream, a wish, etc. There's something really exciting happening in this spread. This is a practical card. I observe it, therefore I believe it. This is a card of manifestation. I believe it, therefore I can see it, therefore it will happen. It doesn't yet exist in the world, but it will. Taking us back one more time to the spider. So this month, are you the crow, practical, only believe what's in front of you, or are you the spider, believing in possibilities and breathing life into them? I would lean into the spider energy. The only thing to be mindful of when High Priestess energy comes through in reverse is sometimes this can be a person that is trying to put on a mask or facade, and there could be a potential test in character. So get to know somebody, trust your instincts, and don't rush any sort of engagement. All of these are falling together nicely because you may want to get to know someone even faster than you normally would. We have a fast friendship or relationship that's kind of blossoming here. So I like what I see, but there's more than meets the eye. And the longer you have to sort of interact with this person, the more they're going to be willing to show you their hopes, their fears, their dreams. And it's worth the courtship. It's worth getting to know them. This exists no matter what level of friendship or partnership it is. So it can be getting to know someone in business, in your friend circle, or in love. When it comes to love, things could progress pretty deeply. And what we see here, by the way, could just be insecurity from your part or their part. This is feeling seen all the way through to the core. And sometimes it's like, I don't know how I feel about myself, and I don't want them to see everything. And when you're truly in the presence of someone who loves you unconditionally, they're going to be okay with who you are. That's why the first message was get to love and know yourself when I was talking about the mirror. Accept yourself, work on the shadow energy, transmute that so that by the time someone comes through and truly sees you, just know, okay, great, I've been waiting for you. So your self-love is going to attract this Four of Wands opportunity. Whether or not you're looking for love, this is a great month for business and personal growth. And in fact, we see that you've done the work here. Lover's energy, which is even stronger than Four of Wands, is in the deep past. Some of you may have already gotten into a significant relationship. The rest of you may be starting to feel this sort of the power that you have to be persuasive. Let me just see if I have the traditional Lover's card here, and I will pull it up here. But basically, what I love about Lover's energy is that it has the capacity to be persuasive and alluring. So here we go. It's passion, it's persuasion, and it is that sense of being kind of wrapped up in someone's overall auric field. Good salesmen, great talkers and speakers, they just have the ability to, and singers and performers for that matter, they can just kind of wrap you up in that sort of energy. And so you have the capacity this month in public speaking opportunities, in all aspects of communication and relationships to really shine. So know that you've done the work and know that this is a great time to expand your network. Let's move to the recent past here. We have Two of Wands energy. It's reversed. There is a nudge from the universe right now to take a little bit more time to dream, to plan, and to envision. For those of you that are people pleasers, and there may be some of you out there because this group energy can show the desire to want everyone to approve and be happy. That's also the mirror energy that I was picking up on. It's saying take a step back, tune in, and focus on what it is that you want in your life, in your world. Make sure you've got that. You have the power, the vision, and the capacity to manifest it if it's missing. It's okay to lack or to want. In fact, it makes life more interesting when we have goals. When you see something where you think, I need or I want that, great. Figure out how, when, and where you're going to work to manifest it. But slow down and take time to dream. Think, what do I want to explore? It could be travel. It could be personal development. It could be introspection. It's still within reach. It's not too late. And that's basically what this is saying. But some of you may be cheating yourself of the chance to dream and to explore. So make some time this month. Two cards in the crowning position. Hard work and exhaustion here in the Nine of Wands, and then happiness and fulfillment beneath it. So let's break it down. First and foremost, what I'm getting here is that some of you are fatigued. So we can see that this can either represent rebounding and coming back from a period of feeling exhausted, or it could be that sense of, I just need a break. So I love this illustration because it shows that you have the capacity to make it through. But if we look at the traditional card, you have to take care of yourself. So in the corner, you can see that he's got that bandage on his head. What happens sometimes is we feel a sense of mental fatigue, emotional pressure, and it can wear on the body. Oftentimes it can be insomnia. Sometimes it can just be a migraine or a headache. So if any of this is happening, take a step back and look at just how far you've come and give yourself time to rebound. You will, but you need to take care of yourself. The card that was beneath it is the Helper card. Fun, joy, connection. It looks like one of the main focal points for many of you this month is relationships, if you want that. And that can also be a source of renewal. So if you are a workaholic, take a step back, do something that creates joy in your life, rest a little bit. Know that you're very close to the finish line. This is just one away from the Ten of Wands, but self-care is the most important thing. And specifically what I'm getting here is concentration and difficulty thinking, maybe even a headache or migraine. So be gentle with yourself. In the near future, we have a card of action. Love the Queen of Swords. If we look really closely, she's like the queen bee. These could be bees or butterflies sort of buzzing around her. This is the leadership energy that was also kind of the magnetic or sticky energy that I was picking up on with the Lovers. So you have the capacity, particularly with your words, to pull people into your energy this month in a very positive, productive, and manifesting sort of way. Walk the walk, talk the talk, and elevate your communication. Speak from a place of clarity, hope, and be direct. And I think that's the main takeaways here. There could also be an amazing Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini coming forth in your life this month. But by and large, this is really your ability to speak and step into an opportunity kind of like without fear, without any doubt. And then things really get exciting. All right, folks, change is afoot this month. We have the Tower coming through for you. Based on everything that I've been seeing so far, you don't have to fear this. The only thing that could be happening is the speed with which things are happening could be surprising, off-putting, and this is where you want to be careful and take care of yourself. Take time every day and meditate. Take time to connect with the people that you love, to observe your surroundings, make sure you're not missing something. I think that you can really make a splash with this Tower. It all depends on the helper cards. You don't have the Devil, you don't have the Ten of Swords, you don't have the Moon. You only have favorable cards for the most part. Therefore, it can be a positive Tower. And that here's some examples of a positive Tower. Graduation, marriage, a great job opportunity, money or something amazing coming into your life that takes you by surprise. Good things can happen in a Tower moment. It's just fast. And then the Tower energy is still a part of that, because what you don't want to do is rapidly make a bunch of changes after that one big pivotal change. Take a moment, drink it in, and think to yourself, I've got this. I've worked hard for this. And what do I want to do next? Get a little bit strategic. That's all. Some of you might be deciding to move in, move up, or move out. Move in with someone. Move out. Could be divorce, separation. You could be getting a promotion at work. It's major life changes, major events that typically come through. Even a pivotal birthday or celebration. So whatever might be coming forth with this, know this. You're okay. You just have to take your time. And you don't want to get too much in your headspace. What we don't want is, well, we do want fireworks. I hit the wrong button. But what we don't want is this fear of change or uncertainty or unknown. And as long as you breathe into it, you can be the surfer and surf the wave of change and allow it to be something that is joyful. All right, let's look in your environment. This is one of the coolest Four of Cups that I think I've seen in any modern deck. What we see here is there's more than meets the eye. This is, again, it's like a two-way mirror. There's someone on the other side. You have support, you have help, you might even have someone that is trying to help you get to the next level, but you have to be willing to see it and receive it. One of your manifestations could just be like you with your hands open, almost like an Ace of Cups, saying, I'm open to receive whatever the abundance, the opportunity, the insight is. Bring it forth. We see a hidden rose under one of these cups. Traditionally, there's just a cup floating, and so sometimes it's obvious to everybody else, but not to you. So this is when you want to lean on friends and loved ones to say, do you see this? Or is it me? Or is there something that I'm missing? They can give you the perspective that you might be needing in this moment in time. Hopes, fears, and opportunities. Listen. Literally, that's what this is saying. Listen more than you speak. We have a card that shows that you can hit it out of the park when it's time to have a conversation or a presentation. But before that, listen. Ask questions. So a reversed Knight of Swords is saying, okay, I'm going to slow down for a second and I'm going to get clear on things. Why am I doing this? Has the action that I've taken thus far brought me to a place that is satisfactory? If not, what else might I do? So you could just be asking yourself the questions. You could ask someone else. Listen to your instincts. Listen to other people. Then move forward. But the listening and the tuning in seems to be the one thing that might be lacking this month. This is saying tune in. This is saying make time for meditation. This is listen. So you're using all of your senses to observe. It's not just the eyes. It's the two physical eyes. It's the third eye. It's the ears. It's the heart. Bring all of those organs and senses together and then get the big picture. Then move forward. This is slowing down. In tarot, this is the equivalent of pumping the brake, because the Knight of Swords is one of the fastest cards. You always see someone charging through the sky. So when it's reversed, they're taking a step back, addressing any questions, issues, or problems. Then they can move forward, and they can do so without the fear of making a mistake, which can happen with the Tower. And basically, that's what's happening here. There's something that requires attention, so you're slowing down before taking the next step. All right, we have a fantastic energy here in the outcome. 3 of Wands. Ships are coming in. They're very small in this card. They're right there. But what I like about this is the person is right over the ocean. I always like an active 3 of Wands. So one thing that you can do this month is meet someone halfway. You're also looking at it from all perspectives. They're getting the bird's eye view, literally like the 3 ravens or hawks around them. So allow yourself to explore things from all angles, all perspectives. Know that things can happen now. If you're wondering, should I do something? Yes, we get a lot of energy of right here, right now. So you have the potential and the capacity to manifest in real time. Travel may be on the horizon, and we can look at this as almost a quarterly card. So the next 2 to 3 months could actually bring a lot of good opportunity. This moment is the most discombobulating, but past that, it gets pretty stable and pretty exciting, okay? Let's take a moment now and expand this a little bit deeper into health, wealth, love, and destiny, and then we'll break it down in each of those categories. All right, so we'll pull a card for health. Wealth. Love. And destiny. So interesting that destiny is focus. It all comes full circle. But let's start off first with your health card, which is mind, body, and spirit. All right, this says, my light attracts light. Amen to that. And this month, you can be like a 1,000-watt bulb. These energies are highly attractive. So taking time to heal yourself, to really focus on cultivating a sense of joy and balance, it's so important. It will help you in all the other categories that we're going to look at, okay? You also may be looking for levity. We can look at light as 2 things. It can be, well, really 3. It can be the spiritual light. It can be lightening the load, because this represents a feeling of being burdened. And then it's also like joy and levity, laughing. So all of these forms of light in your life, I would try to add in if you can. All right, looking at these as just physical cards or basically health-related cards. If something doesn't feel right, talk to the doctor. Sometimes we feel it far in advance of it physically kind of showing up. So get a checkup or a physical, or talk to the doctor associated with where you feel like something might be a little bit off. Don't do too much heavy lifting. This can represent either emotional or physical burden, so you want to be kind to your body. You may be in the throes of a major change or move. This can even be for some of you that might be going through like a hormonal change in your life. Take care of yourself. Obviously, this especially you want to work with a doctor, and there can be any number of reasons that this might be going on. So definitely know that a change in hormones can affect your moods, your ability to concentrate. Now it's all starting to make sense. And so It will get better, but you might need to work with the doctor to get the hormonal levels where they need to be. Very rarely do I get that hit, but I'm getting that for some of you. And by the way, if there's something missing in your diet or something else going on, maybe even a medication, that can sometimes affect hormones. Otherwise, the cards are pretty good here, and I think that giving yourself some time to relax and to do things that allow your imagination to be open is really important, okay? If the environment is not supportive, it might be time to move, and that's the last message there. Let's move on to wealth. So we have the wolf spirit. We have kind of a lone wolf here, and wolves are happier in packs. So as we're looking at a place that you might be working or spending your time and energy, since resources are connected to that, it should feel like a sense of community is there. And if it isn't, it's time to look somewhere else. All right, we're going to break this down into actually 5 major categories. We'll start off with those of you that already have a job, and let's see what's going on. If you're presently employed, something's changing about your position. You might have just been promoted. There could be new management that's stepping in. The company itself could be restructuring, typically major changes. You could actually benefit from this. So let's say there is a new boss. You might be able to have a really great camaraderie with this person and be able to advance faster. If there are changes in the organizational structure, you can speak up and possibly get transferred or something of that nature. Even if you find yourself without a job or, feeling like I need to find one, you still may end up with something better. It could take up to 3 months though. I'll be honest with that, but I do think that the ultimate outcome is better than what this is if you're not happy. You're not alone. Work in numbers here. When we have like the Lovers and the Four of Wands, this is a great time to, if there's a union or a professional group or association, to get connected with that, because that can help as well. Get everything in writing this month with the Queen of Swords. And if you have any ideas, make sure that you get those protected before sharing them with a larger audience. And if you're working in a company, maybe this is something you keep to yourself if you have your own ideas, because sometimes your intellectual property can become their property. So you want to be mindful of that. Okay, moving onward to entrepreneurs. It's a pretty good month for you. The challenge right now is that you may be restructuring your business already. One thing that I'm not seeing in this spread, which is something that I'd want to for business owners, is money. We don't have pentacles, right? So the question is, are you getting realistic with your budget? This is a really good time for planning. And just as I was saying, if there's anything that involves patents, trademarks, or intellectual property, work with a lawyer on that. I do see you being able to exit through an uncertain period doing well, but this initial month could be a little challenging. As we go further beyond that, much better things. But I'm not seeing resources, so it's important to get realistic with your resources. I like the team that you've built, and if you're looking to hire, it looks like you have a good chance of attracting the right kind of person. Take a look at what's going on in the market. Make sure that you're changing to meet the market and the customer needs. One last thing that I'm seeing here is if you're just getting started on a business, make sure that you have done the legal legwork to make it happen. Whatever a limited liability company or a smaller incorporation might look like in your city, state, country, or province, make sure that it's organized from a tax and legal perspective. And if you need funding, we actually have great capacity for this from other people. You might need to have some sort of a marketing or public event to kind of garner that. Make sure that you're doing what you need to there. Moving onward to job seekers. Stay organized. The Tower card can show the sense of being disorganized. Also be very clear on what it is that you're trying to get. The clearer your vision, the easier it's going to be for you to land something. There are options, but they may take longer than you think to get. And honestly, with this one, it's about looking in a different, possibly like a different industry or different location because of the travel component. Work hard and work the network. Specifically, we have like 2 very magnetic cards. If you know someone and you think to yourself, I really want this job, but I would hate to bother this person, go out on a limb, be kind, and just work the connection that you have, because it is in this moment, especially who you know. And so if you know a former classmate or family member or friend, and they might be able to submit your resume on your behalf. That's going to give you the heads up and bring you sort of like at the front of the pack, literally, since we have the wolf. You don't want to do this all on your own. You want to work with others. You may also benefit from working with an agency or with some sort of a professional that can kind of help you out, because this is an outsider card and we want you to be connected. So anything you can do to amp up the network is really important, including maybe taking a class or doing something of that nature. Okay? It looks like whomever you might be working with at the moment also, they could be disorganized. So it may take a couple of attempts before you land an interview or go to the next level. Okay? Moving on. And again, I'm getting at least 3 weeks for some of you to get the answer that you're looking for. Don't give up. Keep focusing and know that eventually that connection will happen. For students, do you feel happy and connected with the program that you're taking? I have no doubt that you can succeed, but there's something here where it feels like the living environment might not be satisfactory. The dormitory, the program, the person that you're working with the most. You've got everything else under control, but if this is missing, fix that. And talk to your friends, to your parents, to other people, and see if there's a way through this, because I do feel like there is, but there is a sense of being isolated and on your own. Reach out for some support, because once that happens, I'm happy with everything else that I see here. The other thing that I'm picking up on is a desire for more creative classes and creative control over your major. So make sure that you're getting that sort of creative muscle exercise the way that it needs to be. Retirees. For many of you, you want change. I'm actually getting restlessness here. And if you can imagine or see it, you can do it. Again, missing from this entire spread is something relating to resources. So either you have enough and you don't need to worry, or you need to look at those, because we want to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing next, that the finances support it. And that's what I'm getting, especially with the Tower. Slow down and don't rush into anything. The overarching energy for retirees is around relationships, which we're going to look at in a moment, meeting new friends, and possibly even rebounding for those of you that might be coming out of a breakup or something like that. All right, let's move on to love. This is all aspects of your life, your romantic, platonic, and everything in between. So what we have here is Sirius Star Blessing, and it says, yes, proceed. Be seen, push through. The reversal of this is saying, but only if and only when you feel safe, grounded, seen, and confident. The time is now, but you have to trust in your instincts. And we had a card showing it's okay to slow down if you need to. Wait until you're confident before moving forward. And I also encouraged you to get to know someone, because they may have some things that they're afraid to share. They may feel like you see too much. You may feel too seen. So get the trust built up before moving forward. Let's start off with those that are already partnered. I love so much about the spread here. This is what I'd want to see in a love relationship in the deep past. It comes from the lovers. As long as communication exists, Queen of Swords, and listening, Knight of Swords reversed, you're fine. Because this is someone who sees you, you see them, you know them better than they know themselves, and vice versa. Sometimes that's frustrating because you wish that you could keep something to yourself, but it feels like you've chosen someone who's has a pretty good intuition. It'd be great to make a plan a trip. It does not have to be now. It could be 3 months from now. The longer out, the more you can save. So maybe that's something that's good, since we're not seeing money in this spread. Don't push them into doing something. Let them come to it from a heart perspective. Something around work, living situation, or health could be out of whack a little bit. I don't feel like it has to do with the partner. I think that there's just something out of the control of the two of you, but you need to focus on that. It is showing up in self, aka you, so take care of yourself. And ask for support if you need it, because they really do want to show up, okay? Try not to act too hasty. Try not to cut someone off in conversation. That's it. Okay? Otherwise, it's pretty good. Single and looking. Can you find love? Absolutely. We're actually seeing air signs here. So Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius could be coming through, and it's a nice match. And I actually like a queen and a knight, pretty compatible. One is just better at talking, one is better at listening, so just make sure that both parties are getting what they need out of that. The only thing that's going on right now is that you could fall head over heels, because literally in the traditional tower, you see someone falling out of the tower head first. Slow down. Enjoy the courtship. Get to know who they are and what they want, and that is going to allow you to enjoy this new love. There's also a water sign coming through here in the crowning position. I think the important thing here is to not force the connection. So you either feel it or you don't. When you really feel it, though, it is kind of like head over heels. Take care of yourself, take your time, make sure that your health and your finances are where they need to be. This is separate from love, but this shows that something in your life could be a little bit disorganized. Single and happy, good for you. You could wantingly, knowingly, and premeditatedly, that's not a word, but you know what I'm talking about. You could plan to make a change, and it could really land. So this is a fantastic time for personal growth, career growth, or a physical move. You've got this. Everything here is positive. This one is saying it's the time. Now is the time to make that change. That's why this one's giving you a yes, proceed. There's doubt. Whatever the doubt is, ask the question, get the sort of sense of, I've got this, and then it just starts to happen quickly, okay? Let's move on to destiny. For destiny, we have focus. And I feel like for some of you, that's really where the challenge is. You might be focusing on everything and everyone else, but what matters. Thank you, angels, for helping me focus on my priorities. Set the priorities, and everything else will fall into place. We're going to do two special cards today. One that is brand new and one that we always do. The new one is what you need to know. So this can be anything that I haven't already pulled or asked, and anything that you're not going to ask. So guides are coming through right now and saying, here's what we want you to know. The moon. Don't be afraid to talk about something. Don't be afraid to look into something, back into the mirror energy. This is going to give you the perspective that you need to find that path that we see in the middle. Don't get caught up in competition, and know that you have what it takes to make something happen. This is very introspective. It's very reflective. It's very mirror energy. All right. Sorry, I meant to put the graphic up. The next one is your final question. If you have something specific that I haven't asked and the guides haven't revealed, now's your moment. Queen of Cups in reverse. Yes, however, there's an emotional piece that's clouding your vision. So it's a not yet if you ask a yes or no. What you want to focus on in this moment is really asking yourself, how do I feel about this? What do I want? How does it sit here? Not what does mom think, not what does my boss think, not what will this mean in 5 or 10 years. How do I feel? Does it feel good? Does it make me anxious? Tune into the heart. Take care of yourself. You may be feeling heightened emotions, heightened sensitivity, heightened intuition. You should, because we have the High Priestess. Trust in that. Feel it out. Whatever your question is, feel it in the heart. The heart will lead you in the right direction. And if you aren't clear there, talk to someone. Take care of yourself and get that cup in the upright position before moving forward. That means that if you need to cry, if you need to laugh, if you need to communicate with someone, get all of that exorcised first. And then when you're ready to receive, move forward. That, my friends, is everything for this month. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, a quick and very valuable way to show that you enjoyed this is to subscribe. So please do that. Then hit the thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know what resonated most. If you like the slight change this month in format, and I read everything that you guys write, so thank you in advance. Also, give me a follow on social media. It's always Nicholas Ashbaugh on all the major platforms. And Blue Sky, it's nicholasashbaugh.com. That's also my website. I would also love for those of you that really want to help and go above and beyond to feel free to do a super sticker, super chat, or to become a member. It's an easy way to set it and forget it, and your support makes these videos possible. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube and for allowing me to show up and continue to help all of you. Let's give Apollo one last pat on the head, and then I will wrap up for tonight. All right, Apollo, You still back there? Yes, you are. Hey, buddy. Thanks for being a good boy. All right, guys. Have a great evening, and thank you again. Take care.